Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another episode of the best mods of the week in Baldur's Gate 3's Mod Manager. There's a healthy mix of everything here today, and I guess I'll just dive right into what we're covering with the Succubus Spells mod, the Amulets of Faerun, a Star Wars class mod, fire-themed gear, which actually makes heat a useful status in Baldur's Gate 3, the Pact of the Stone for Warlocks, some new class mods, as well as different types of cosmetics. So yeah, there's a lot of great stuff here to cover today, and I think I first want to talk about the Succubus class spells. So this adds 13 new spells and 3 cantrips for druids, sorcerers, wizards, clerics, bards, and warlocks. I already went through these all once, but I'm going to go through them again because my PC crashed and deleted the video. But for the cantrips, you get the ability to fly as of level 1, which is pretty cool. We also get the Degrade cantrip here, which is 1d4 of psychic damage and applies a 1d6 penalty to attack rolls and ability checks, and damage dealt. 1d6 penalty is applied to damage dealt, and it'll also apply disadvantage on wisdom saving throws, which is actually pretty huge. And then also we get the Primal Lust cantrip here. Touch a target and deal psychic damage and make them wet for 3 turns. And the target may go mad from arousal, causing them to attack at random. So basically applying the confusion, and you can also then deal cold or lightning damage doubled. For spells at level 1, we get the Charming Armor here, which sets your armor class at 13 plus the Charisma modifier. So this is like Mage Armor, and then also adding Charisma modifier, which is kind of cool. And the Luring Kiss blow kisses the target and lure them in. The target will move toward you on its own and do nothing else. This is like the command approach spell. A pretty cool ability because not every class gets access to that. Level 2 spells gives us the Alluring Illusion here, so you can surround yourself in magical mist that distracts enemies, which will give disadvantage on attack rolls against you. And your spells and attacks ignore resistance and immunity to slashing, fire, necrotic, and psychic damage. Pretty cool. We also got the Blinding Beauty, which is 1d4 of psychic damage, and possibly blinds a creature. Attack rolls against will have advantage, and the foe attacks with disadvantage. And then we also get the Summon Hellhound, so you can summon your trusty companion to help you in battle. It can guard and swap places with you, and it gets stronger as you continue to level up. We also get the Draining Kiss ability for level 2, which is a 2d8 of psychic damage, kiss an enemy and siphon their life force, and regain half as much as health points. What's cool about this is you can use the Resonance Stone to double that up. Level 3 gives the Demonic Whip, which allows you to knock a target prone, stun them, or make them bleed, which does 2d10 of psychic damage, and obviously stun is very powerful. For level 40, you get the Summon Tentacles here, which can cause difficult terrain and entangle enemies as a bonus action. And Seduce here, which allows you to seduce a creature, fight alongside you. It makes a wisdom saving throw against your seduction, and allies cannot be seduced for 10 turns concentration. At level 9, we get the Transmit Disease spell, which allows you to apply Infestation, Gnawing, Crawling, Gnaw, or Flesh Rod. Flesh Rod gives disadvantage on all damage types, which is great. Dream Eater here also does a 5d8 plus 10 psychic damage. If a target is sleeping, you can invade their dreams. Haunt their psyche and prevent the target from healing for the next 3 turns. And the target cannot help downed creatures, and an undead target receives disadvantage on their attack rolls. And for the final 2 spells, we got the Soul Siphon here, which allows you to regain 2 to 48 health and deal 10d8 of necrotic damage. And then also the Tormented Desire, which is 8d6 of psychic damage and reduces target's move speed by 50%. So you can see here we got like the Fly ability, cantrip at level 1 there. We can summon in our Hellhound, which is probably similar to some of the, or it's very similar to some of the others that you may have used in other class mods. We also got that Demonic Whip, which allows you to potentially stun a target. That's obviously an extremely powerful ability there, because stun just makes it so that they skip their next turn. Then we also got some of the cool things like the ability to apply these very powerful abilities, disadvantage on charisma checks, and vulnerability to all damage as mentioned. Flesh Rod is crazy. A Gnawing Claw. And then the Tormented Desire here, it's that psychic damage spell, some cool effects there. But yeah, this is a very fun choice of new spells. I don't want to spend the entire video talking about this, but this mod is made by I'm Freya here. Now we also got the Amulets of Faerun by Pixel and Chamnick. Now I've covered some of their mods previously. They do an amazing job with the different mods that they come out with, and this now adds 25 new amulets to the game. And the nice thing is these are all pretty well balanced, and they offer really a lot of new experiences because there's some amulets I find that I always run in Baldur's Gate 3, so it's nice to have new choices here. Additional blade singing benefits. So yeah, you got a lot of really cool new abilities, wild shape bonuses. You gain additional bonus when you're in wild shape, Aura of Haste, and Profaned Aura of Haste. There's so many cool abilities here. I do think I will cover a video in the future of all their items because they have so many different item mods that I think are all worth checking out. So yeah, if you're looking for some new experiences, new items, this is a solid one to check out with the Amulets of Faerun. I guess another thing I should mention is some of the items here, like this one makes it so that you reserve 22 health points, and this will then give your team a benefit of reducing the cold damage by 25%. So there's some cool drawbacks to them. I think this is nice for some different ways to play. And next up, we got the Force Adept from Star Wars 5th Edition. If you're not aware, this is a It's a group that changes basically the 5th edition rule set from Dungeons and Dragons into Star Wars. Now, this has 2 different abilities here. You get to choose different auras. There's abilities all the way up to level 20, which I think is really nice. And there are some changes from the player's handbook. So what this ends up looking like in there, you got your force power or points, which are a resource that allows you to use your abilities. You can choose from a bunch of different light force abilities here, depending on which subclass you're going with. You want to be a protector or a destroyer, and each of them comes with a bunch of different abilities. Now, I'm really sorry, everyone, but this keeps crashing my computer. I've been filming this video for hours now, and I'm really sorry, but it's just crashing my computer every time I try to show off the evil video. So if I want to get this video out sometime this week, I unfortunately will have to continue on here, but you can read about all the different abilities here. Let me know if you're having issues with crashing, because for some reason, it's whenever I look at the dark side there, I don't know what it is, but yeah, at least this time it didn't crash my entire PC. Next up, we got ourselves the fire theme set, the Armory of Ashen Conflagration here by J. Radicus. Now, this actually makes heat gear worth using. And what this gear looks like, so we got our helmet here, which gives you basically the fire acuity hat. So whenever you deal fire damage, you get arcane acuity, giving a +10 to your spell save DC with things like Scorching Ray, being able to stack that immediately. This also gives you immunity to blindness, +2 to spell save DC in the immolating gaze. Obviously very powerful, but alongside this, whenever your cantrips deal fire damage, you add your spellcasting modifier to the damage dealt. Whenever you deal fire damage with any spell or an attack, you burn yourself and gain a bonus additional reaction similar to the Hat of Fire Acuity, or the Hat of Pyro Quickness hat. And this also gives a +2 to bonus spell save DC and spell attack rolls. This one will give you, whenever you go below 25% of your health, a flame shield which deals fire damage 2 to 16 to everyone nearby. And whenever you got heat, you're going to give yourself your Constitution modifier onto your armor class, which at the current moment it's 6. I like that it is able to show that how much you have based off your Constitution. That's really cool. This here, whenever you deal fire damage, you get 2 turns of heat. Dealing fire damage will burn your target potentially and sets Dex to 18. This one here allows you to resist burn, can't be burned. You also get a flame jump, and when you deal fire damage, you create a fire surface. This one here, whenever an enemy takes burning damage within 6 meters of you, you can regain health points equal to your proficiency bonus, and you get the ability of a phoenix to come back from being downed. And then we also got the vaporizing band, which is really cool. Whenever you use fire damage, it extinguishes all water within 9 meters of you, +1 to all your spell casting stats. We then also have this ring here, the signet of searing here. Whenever you would stand on a fire surface, you get a bonus to all attack rolls, they become advantaged. And high spellcasting, +2 to spell save DC, +1 armor class, Hellish Bargain. And also the Ember brand here, whenever you hit with a melee attack, you use your reaction, deal additional fire damage. This is similar to the Duelist Prerogative, but done with fire damage. And creatures hit with this weapon receive vulnerability to fire damage, which is pretty cool. And then you also get increased critical hit chance by 20% whenever you have a free offhand. So pretty cool stuff. This is, again, the fire-themed set, Armory of Ashen Conflagration by J. Radicus. Next up, we got the Pact of the Stone for Warlocks. I'm not going to go too in-depth with this because I'm having so many issues every time I talk to Withers. But basically, this adds a new Pact to the Warlock, which allows them to focus on using Eldritch Blast. So, Pact of the Stone, you get a transmutation stone called the Philosopher's Stone, which allows you to transmute your Eldritch Blast. You can change the damage type. You can also fire a number of beams equal to 1 plus a spell slot level if you want to use it as a spell slot, similar to Scorching Ray. And you can empower them to deal additional damage per blast. You can also empower your Eldritch Weapon spell to also gain the damage die of your weapon to a 2d8, 3d8 at levels 3. This basically is like a Shadow Blade version. And then you can also grant yourself Eldritch Armor, which is basically like Armor of Agathis here. You get the Quickened Transmutation. And then you have a few different Eldritch specific invocations, which allows you to do like a Roar, like Arms of Hadar. There's something similar to Cone of Cold, which does an Eldritch Blast breath attack. And then this has the Eldritch Spear, which allows you to deal damage in a radius, similar to Fireball, and the Eldritch Gaze, which is like Lightning Bolt. So some pretty cool new spells. I'm probably going to do a updated Warlock video in the future, so I'll probably cover this one here when I'm having less PC issues. I just want to quickly mention these. These are mods that were ported over by Ada Rugo here. This is the original creator, 72 Division. It's no longer Upket, the Bloodletter. This also has a level 20 expansion as well. So this is really cool as a rogue subclass. They also have another one here. I'm just going to briefly mention these. I don't want to go too in depth on them. This one is made by Big Green Mako from Nexus Mods, and Rugo has ported this over the Paladin subclass, Oath of Glory. So this also now has a level 20 support. You can check these both out if they sound interesting. Again, unfortunately, if I go to respec, it's causing my PC to crash. We also got Embers Wardrobe by Ari Fell here. This adds some new outfits to the game. I'll quickly take you through the looks of them because I think they are awesome. 10 outfits with a bardic style. So you got the Dirge Song Shroud here. You can see the different body types that these are fitted for. Glamour Guard, the I'm not even going to try that name. Shrinking Violet, Chorus Plate, the Lyrical Raiments, the Gilded Lyric, Timber Coat, and Versifere, Velvet Encore, Hat and Mask of Dramatis Persona, and some numbers of dies are included. So yeah, these are really cool. I like any type of cosmetic mods. I always want to cover them in case you may find these outfits look good for your next playthrough. In addition to this, you may have seen these at the start of the video. Having, again, some weird issues with getting these to work, but it's new outfit mods that I think just look really nice here. So what's cool about these is that they will come as both a camp clothing version and then also an outfit version here. So with the camp clothing, that's the one that you saw on my character at the start of the video. I think that these look really nice here. So yeah, that's the outfits that they have. Kind of similar to some of the other mashups here. Like this is some of the Githyanki armor there. This is another mashup of one of the ball list armor. Yeah, it's really cool to see new outfits like this. So yeah, this is made by Cloudy. And we also got the Dreamslayer here by Ruboki. Now, this is a rogue subclass. It's meant to be more so focused on slipping through the shadows and kind of like a nighttime silent ambushing rogue. So you got Sneak Attack Chloroform here, which applies somnolence to them. Can be used without it deals half damage. It doesn't include slumber, so you can put enemies to sleep with this. It's kind of an interesting one. Again, people like different types of rogue subclasses. I just want to mention this one quickly here because I've covered a lot of different Ruboki class mods, and I think this is just another really cool one that got dropped this week. Here's the full ability list that you get from it. And we also got another mod by Ruboki. Last week, they had a bunch of class mods. This week, they still had one. And then also this equipment mod here, which is meant to be used with their subclass mods. Nothing that's too overpowered here. And you can also get some of the items, as you can see here, from different traders. So yeah, I think that's really cool. This is fun. If you've played any type of Dark Souls game or Elden Ring, the Deprived Start just basically gives you no gear. So you have to start the game with nothing. And that's similar to the playthroughs, like the Wretch playthrough or anything like that, where you start with absolutely nothing. So this is made Ophidian Shadow. And the Eidolon of Stygian Flames, I'd probably mispronounce that, by Gyrodime here. This is cool. So basically this gives you a bunch of different spells that allows you to either polymorph and transform yourself into a bunch of different demons, or you can have a planar ally and summon them all in. So this is cool. I know a lot of people really enjoy the different types of devilish mods, so I just want to highlight this one here as you got summons, or you can change yourself over into one. So Gyrodime there made that mod. Book by Yunmun Sik. This is really cool. So basically, whenever you read a book, afterwards, it's going to have a little R symbol there to show that you did read it. I like this little simple quality life mod. This is awesome. Another great mod by Yunmun Sik. And we also have the all summons have help action. So this makes it so all rangers, familiars, undeads, and elementals will all be able to have the help action, as in D&D 5th edition. Adds a missing hide animation to animate dead summons, and that's it. Doesn't help the help animation anyway. This mod was made by Chizfree. Just another great mod that may be for you. And here's another mod by Poppy. This is called Bae'zel. This changes Lae'zel's name over into Bae'zel. This only works whenever you start a new playthrough, so if you download the mod, it's not going to currently apply if you have playthroughs on the go, but if you were to start a new one, it changes their name to Bae'zel. And then if you were to remove the mod, it keeps her name as Bae'zel. You have to do something like use the script extender or other mods to change her name. I really like this, and yeah, it's cool just to see some more mods like this change the names over. These were really popular when the mod manager first came out, so it's nice to see one for Bae'zel here. And we also got the Tieflings update mod by Tepkun set here. So this changes over some Tiefling abilities similar to the 2024 Player's Handbook. So the Abyssal, Chthonic, and Infernal ones all have their different abilities here. They come with their Tiefling traits and the Fiendish Legacy, so they get different spells and abilities. The Abyssal getting poison damage resistance and poison spray cantrip, Ray of Sickness, and hold person once per long rest. Chthonic gets necrotic damage resistance and chilled touch cantrip, can cast false life without a spell slot, and then Ray of Enfeeblement. And the Infernal gets resistance to fire damage. They also can do Firebolt, Hellish Rebuke, and Darkness. So pretty cool. And I always do these with Nexus mod or non-Nexus mods, but I just want to mention a cool one here by Magna Tuning. They've done some previous mods in the mod manager. This is cool. It's a custom companion named Jason here. I'm not related to them, but it's a voice custom companion there, and they actually did all the voice acting for it. I think it's kind of interesting, so I just want to highlight this there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So Let me know your favorite mods of the week. I apologize again for all the technical issues. This video has been taking hours in the making to release, so unfortunately I did have some issues, but I'll try to get that all corrected for next week. Let me know your favorite mod from this week in the comments. Hit the subscribe button below if you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great day.